The Birkin bag. It's the holy grail of luxury fashion. But here's the truth. It's just not for everyone. And in today's video, I want to share why it's not for everyone, even though I appreciate what it represents. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So let's talk about the Birkin bag. The Birkin, number one, it's a status symbol that I feel like I don't need anymore. Yes, it is iconic, and in some phase in my life, I really, don't feel the need to prove anything anymore. And although I still want to carry it, I'm more interested in the style that it reflects, not what I can afford. So anyway, as we've known, the Birkin bag has been a status symbol for celebrities, all of the very wealthy people in the world. And I, at some point, got caught up in a situation where I feel like I also deserve it because I have worked hard for it so much that I wanted to buy it. So hence, I bought it, and I still do not have any regrets buying the Hermes Birkin, but it does no longer represent just as a, status symbol, but and also not that I can afford it. I'm actually over that. However, it's just that I feel like sometimes we need to really reflect on, is it really for us or is it really for everyone? Which is, to my point, it's not. So the second point I'm trying to do here is also to tell you that the Hermes Birkin bag, it's high maintenance. So let's be honest, right? The bag is heavy if you are carrying a Birkin 35. And I've tried a Birkin 35 in secondary marketplaces. They're really heavy. This one that I have right now, it's a Birkin 25. So, it's perfect for my size, I suppose, because I'm petite. But however, we also need to understand that, depending on the leather, it scratches easily. Mine, because it's a Cellier, it doesn't really scratch easily. But of course, it's also something to consider if you are buying something with a different type of leather, and especially, softer, swift leather. And sometimes, there are people who actually treat them as like a museum piece because they are just so hard to get that sometimes, people just don't want to wear them. And really, that's not how you want to live with your things. You want to be able to use them and not stress over them. So really, they're truly high maintenance. And in my experience, you just feel like, or I always feel I have to be careful, with my bags, obviously, because they're very expensive. So anyway, the third point I am going to talk about today is I'd rather invest in experiences. And as you all know, I have moved to Barcelona. And for the cost of Birkin, which is in the secondary marketplace, is now about $30,000 for a Birkin 25. And then also, for that, you can travel and learn something new and, probably do a support for a creative project that feels a little bit better on your return on investment for where you are or for where I am right now. So experiences are more of like something that I am more inclined to do right now, and travel the world. And really, it just depends on what you are intending to do with your money. But as of right now, in the phase of my life, I'd rather invest in experiences rather than buying another Birkin. That's the reality. So the number four point that I wanted to talk today is that these bags starts to own you. So when something is this expensive, you feel the pressure to really protect it. So you got to insure it and store it carefully. And of course, the sudden joy of owning them, it gets replaced by worry. And, with the Birkin bag, I needed to insure it. And right now, while we are here in Barcelona, I'm getting quotes for insurance for obviously my bags. And they are not that cheap. I will tell you, they're very expensive. And, it just feels like sometimes it gets to own you because, you worry about safety. You worry about protecting them. You worry about insuring them and storing them carefully so they don't get damaged. So there's just many things that makes it feel like the bag starts to own you rather than you owning the thing that you really like and love. And sometimes I feel that way. So what are your thoughts about that? I just want to know. Anyway, the fifth point that I wanted to tell you is that it doesn't align with my values anymore. So, I'm moving toward a more intentional choice, less consumerism, and more sustainability, meaning this bag has so much more hype and exclusivity that sometimes it just doesn't fit the mindset anymore. When I go walk around the streets, first of all, you're the only one carrying it. It's not like a lot of people carry it. It's become this bag that you feel like, does it even align with my values? Because right now, I'd rather have the freedom of not being able to think about safety, not being able to think about, having something very expensive that, theft, that kind of thing, or like walking around carefree, so to speak. So sometimes it just doesn't align with your values anymore. And sometimes I feel that way, that's just being the truth. And of course, the sixth point that I wanted to talk about today is it doesn't match the lifestyle. So a lot of people think that having a Birkin is just like, oh yeah, I can wear it anywhere and everywhere and whenever I want. The truth and the reality is it's not. You can't wear them everywhere. You have to still be careful where to bring it, and how to use it, and to be always be aware of the surroundings. And that maybe your lifestyle, like for me right now, is traveling, and it's just basically becoming an inconvenience to sometimes, right? So if like me, I'm on a, if you are doing a red carpet or, you know kind of like jet set lifestyle, sure, you need it. But if I walk a lot, I travel light, and I sometimes prefer things that are versatile and practical, but also beautiful. That's the kind of luxury that I'm looking for these days, because of my lifestyle of, just traveling for the most part. The number seven point I wanted to talk to you guys about today is the hype. It feels outdated. So there's the wait list, the boutique games, the resale frenzy. It all feels a bit exhausting, don't you think? And sometimes it's unnecessary. You want fashion to feel fun and personal again, but it just feels like everybody's talking about the hype, frenzy, and gotta have a pre-spend. You gotta spend money to own them. It's ridiculous sometimes. So anyway, what do you feel about this, you guys? Do you feel like the hype is also outdated? What do you think? And the last point I wanted to talk to you guys about would be there are better alternatives than the Hermes Birkin. But of course, if you really, really love the bag, you should own it and at least have one. And that was my goal, right? I have one, and that's probably one and done. I'm not going to say it will be my mentality for now, but maybe I don't know if it's going to change. But that's my thought process for right now. However, there's going to be better alternatives out there if you really think about it, right? That are more quiet luxury, because it used to be that the Hermes Birkin was quiet luxury and nobody really knew it until social media blew it up and everybody knows what a Birkin is. So, it's like 90% of the population of the world knows what it is now. So, and also the hype of having like all these fake bags and everything and all that. I don't know. So, anyway, Just putting it out there, and that's really what my thoughts are. But let me have this closing thought for all of you guys. If you love the Birkin, that's totally valid, but it's also okay to say, this isn't for me, or it's not for me anymore. I used to have them, but luxury is personal for me, and the most luxurious thing is choosing really what fits my life, not what everybody else is chasing. I have my Birkin. I'm happy with it, and I am going to keep it forever and not sell it. However, again, this topic is just so I want to understand what your thoughts are, and again, the Hermes Birkin isn't for everyone, and why a lot of people are selling them, and a lot of people are not buying one, which I could totally understand. Let me know on your thoughts and your comments below. Thank you everybody for watching. Like and subscribe to my channel. My name is Sigrid. You may call me Ziggy. I talk about luxury, travel, finance, and minimalism in this channel. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye for now.